You promise God you are never falling for this again. You mean it. You go 3 days, maybe a solid week, and then you hit the exact same trigger, and you fall into the exact same habit. But this time, the guilt has been replaced by a terrifying numbness. You slipped up and you didn't even cry. You just moved on. That numbness breeds a very specific voice in your head. It stops telling you to try harder and starts telling you that you are a fraud. It says if you were actually saved, if the Holy Spirit was actually inside you, this habit would be completely gone by now. You are watching this right now because you are trying to figure out if your struggle means you are still fighting, or if your constant failure proves your faith is completely fake. If you were truly entirely gone, you wouldn't be desperately looking for an answer right now. Look at how a river works. A dead body does not fight the current. If you throw a corpse in the water, it makes peace with the flow and drifts downstream. Spiritual death looks exactly like that. It is total apathy. Only something alive swims upstream. The fact that you are exhausted by your habit, the fact that you hate it, is the spiritual friction created by pushing back against the flow. People who are spiritually dead do not declare war on their own habits. They stop fighting. The pain and exhaustion you are feeling inside the ring right now is your definitive proof of life. This friction is entirely normal. The Apostle Paul wrote half the New Testament, and in Romans 7 he wrote, "The evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing." He didn't describe a past struggle, he used the present tense. But if the Spirit is alive and fighting, why does the negative habit keep winning? Because you are relying on a flawed framework, sin management. Whatever you focus on, you amplify. Try not to picture a red car, and you instantly see one. Turning faith into rigid don'ts centers the behavior. Obsessing over avoidance only makes the urge grow larger, leaving you completely drained. You cannot push darkness out of a room with a shovel. You have to turn on a light. Willpower fails because true change requires a greater affection to occupy the heart. The habit loses its grip when your love for Jesus finally outweighs the desire for the sin. Relying on willpower and hatred alone guarantees you will stay stuck in the cycle. True change requires displacing the focal point entirely. But right after you fail, another emotion steps in to block that displacement: overwhelming shame. You punish yourself, you isolate, you skip prayer because you feel like you need to sit in the corner for a while to pay for what you did. It feels like humility, but it is deeply rooted in pride. But isolating, you are subconsciously saying that Jesus' sacrifice covered your first sin, but for this specific failure, you need to add your own suffering to settle the balance. You are trying to pay a debt that is already canceled. Worse, negative habits thrive almost exclusively in the dark. When you use shame to hide away, you are actively turning off the lights in the room. That isolation traps you. It cuts you off from the exact grace you need to actually break the cycle. We need to correct the metric. Holiness is the presence of progress, not the total absence of struggle. You aren't perfect, but you also aren't where you used to be. You took a hit, but you are limping forward. So when the failure happens, do not wait until you feel clean enough to pray. Bring the mess directly to the cross. Run straight to God, not away from Him. In Matthew 12, Jesus says, "A bruised reed He will not break, and a smoldering wick He will not snuff out." When you are bruised and barely lit, religion tells you to blow it out because it's useless. Jesus responds by cupping His hands around that fragile flame to protect it. The Father isn't staring at your fall. He is looking for your hands reaching up to be lifted. True grace meets you the very second you turn back to Him. Let's break the cycle of isolation right now. The enemy wants you to believe you are the only one fighting this private war in secret. Remember, a dead corpse cannot speak out. If you are done letting shame keep you hiding, go to the comments below and write these exact words: "I am still in the fight." That declaration signals that you've stopped fighting to reach a finish line and started fighting from the victory that's already been won at the cross. It tells the enemy he didn't win. Declaring that you are still in the ring is the ultimate signal of spiritual life. Write it down, get back up, and hit subscribe to join a